What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another WWE 2K Sim. Today being the 2K Sim of Survivor Series War Games San Diego. I'm super excited for this PLE and super excited to do this sim, as I believe it's going to be a fun one. Um, a lot of stories being told in this PLE and or potential stories being told. Um, but yeah, super excited for it. If this is your first time joining us for a WWE 2K Sim, welcome. It's going to be loads of fun. Some ground rules before we get started. Um, Usually, if this is your first time, uh, what happens for 2K Sims? We plug and play. I do not take over any of the matches. I do not play as any of the characters whatsoever. I just let 2K dictate what the end result will be. I just plug in the wrestlers, um, into the match, and again, just 2K plays it. All I'm doing is trying to give two predictions. One, the prediction of how the match card is going to be played out. Usually, the match card isn't like officially said, "Hey, this is the first, second, third, fourth, whatever match." It's not like that. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. In the sense of at least one of the matches, like for instance, WrestlePalooza. Don't know if it was like the week leading up to it, or a couple days leading up to it, or maybe the day of. It was announced like, "Hey, Brock Lesnar and John Cena are opening up WrestlePalooza," but the rest of the match card isn't disclosed as to what the order is. So that's where I come in. I predict what the match card order will be, and then I also predict who I think is going to win, and maybe give my reason as to why. Um, and then another ground rule is there are no entrances, just no music, no nothing. Just because one, it takes time, and I don't really think we want to see entrances. We just want to get straight to the action. And two, copyright issues. Don't want any of the music being copywritten and possibly getting the video blocked. So just to not have that happen, let's not have any music. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do have some graphics, as you can see, for this video. So it's the first time I'm using graphics for any of the 2K Sims. So I can actually show you what the official match card is as of Friday morning. So that's another thing for you first time visitors on a 2K Sim. I only do these videos the week leading up to the PLE. Sometime during that week, I will do the PLE. Most majority of the time, it's before Friday Night SmackDown. The reason I say that, I am filming this on Friday morning. It will be posted on YouTube Saturday morning, and the PLE is Saturday night. So if there's anything discussed, anything added to the PLE as of Friday Night SmackDown, it will not be featured in this 2K Sim. Unfortunately, it's just how work and life plays out. Um, so with that being said, these are the four matches that are fully acknowledged and official for the match so far. The men's war game match, the women's war game match, Stephanie Vaquera and Nikki Bella versus each other, obviously, for the women's world heavyweight. What am I sipping on? My lord, for the women's world title. Jesus. Okay, we're just not speaking English well today. And then John Cena versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. So these are the four matches. So I'm going to predict the order of it. Typically, I do it as we go. But today, since it's only four matches, I'm going to just say it right now. I think how I would do it, you would bookend it with the Survivor Series War Game matches. So War Games at the beginning, War Games at the end. You would do the women's War Games at the beginning, men's War Games at the end. That's generally how it happens. The two matches in the middle, that's where it gets a little dicey. So one is John Cena's last PLE before the Saturday night's main event. But regardless of that, it's his last PLE, period. Saturday night's main event is technically not a PLE, it's just an NBC broadcast, which will also be, streaming on Peacock whatsoever. Cool, great. So where do you put that? Do you put that as the co-main event? Do you put that as the second match after a War Games match? Shoot, there could even be an argument you make that the first match. One, also it's San Diego. I don't know if Dirty Dominic hails from San Diego, but Rey Mysterio does, and I'm gonna assume they have Dirty Dom representing San Diego as well. It's his hometown, I would assume. So if that's the case, why not have that match be the first match? So I see an argument for that, but I don't know. War Games matches being so big and grandiose, and like you have so many faces, like faces of the company within these matches. I think there is an argument for the women's War Games match to start it off. Um, so that's where I think it will go. I think the women's War Games match will start. Um, the second match, it's like I also see where the argument could be made is like, well, hey, do you start it off with all women matches, like the first two women and then the last two men, or do you change it up, like break it up? Um, on the off chance the women's war game match is a dud, I think you save it with John Cena and Dirty Dom as the second match, and then on the off chance Nikki Bella starts messing up again like she did in her match against Becky Lynch, you have that as the co-main event because then the men's war game match can just eclipse that and you kind of forget about it. But Stephanie Vaquer is such a good wrestler. I hope that doesn't happen. I mean, again, Nikki, to her credit, she's good too, but her track record so far since her return hasn't been the greatest. But enough trash talk about Nikki. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I think that's going to be the order of the matches for this PLE. Um, you guys comment down below what you guys think will be the match order, and see if we match up. See if you agree. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the first match. So I already kind of have it pulled up, um, and ready to go. The only thing is, if any of you have played any of the WWE 2K25 games, you and or 2K25 games. There's only one game. Well, I guess there's different editions. But also, any of the 2Ks that have had war game matches so far, you will know that you can't have 5v5 war game matches. So it brings you down to 4v4. With that being said, I had to cut two people out, one from each team. And I think the easiest thing to do was cut out AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. One, they were the last two women to be added, but primarily number two, AJ Lee is not in the game, and I don't like downloading custom characters or anything like that. So we're just gonna go with these eight women right here. I didn't have, I do have the advantage set to random, just because as of Friday morning, we do not know which team will have the advantage for the War Games match. So we're just gonna leave it at random, see where it goes. Um, I do believe this should be the entrance order. It makes the most sense. You have Io Sky going in versus Carrie Sane. I'm going to assume maybe the heels have the advantage and they enter first. Excuse me. So I think you have Lash Legend go in after Carrie Sane because I don't think you want her going in super late. She hasn't made her name for herself on the main roster yet, so it's like put her in the middle where she could kind of show out, and but also in the near the beginning and slash middle, so she could show out, show that she belongs. And on the off chance, again, sort of like a Nikki Bella, where she just doesn't show out or she has just falls flat with the audience, you have Asuka coming in to piggyback off and off Carrie Sane and maybe bring the heels back into it. Um, but yeah, I think this is a good order. The only thing I would say the order may have changed is if you had AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, um, instead of Rhea Ripley being the last one for her team and Nia Jax being the last for her team. I think you would have had Becky and AJ be the last ones for their respective teams. Um, but yeah, I think also the baby faces will win in this. But I have an eerie suspicion maybe Charlotte might flip on them, go back to heel Charlotte. Or what would be even crazier is if we went back to heel Alexa Bliss. But uh but yeah, enough chit chat. Let's see what happens when 2K takes over and see who 2K says will win the match.
The first two entrants in this War Games match getting things rolling here. However, as always, the match won't officially begin until each respective teammate has made it into the ring.
Yeah, but in the meantime, that doesn't mean there's going to be a ceasefire, Cole. They may not be able to pin or submit each other to a finish right now, but I'm pretty sure the match has begun for them.
Very true, Corey. Not exactly an enviable position being the first two competitors to start a match like this.
Man.
Down with a DDT. Boom.
Big elbow drop.
Drop kick down low. Io can't seem to gain the upper hand here.
Yeah, Sane is appearing unstoppable.
Countering that offense.
Sky might be able to start mounting something here.
Io could be turning her fortunes around.
Corey, I understand how planning ahead for a match like WarGames can seem like an exercise in futility, but is there anything you think either of these teams, or possibly both, have in mind here?
Other than winning? I'm sure both teams have talked about how to deal with the numbers disadvantage when it falls on them. Talk strategy before and after the match officially begins. A lot of big picture stuff, I'm sure.
Timer's almost up. This next entrant gives their team the advantage inside the cage.
Wait for it.
Freed from the cage and heading toward the ring to give their team the upper hand.
Setting the sights on the leg with that. The legs are a base that you do not want to lose.
Chopping down the tree at the base here. Look out! Coming down from way up top.
Enters the ring and is diving head first into the chaos of this match.
What overhand shot!
Interceptor!
But then to Sky.
Oh my gosh, what impact!
Oh, a kick! Wow! Oh! Got them off their feet here.
Oh, sent flying. It couldn't have felt good being shucked around like that.
Catches her by surprise. Here comes the buzzer. The numbers advantage vanishes with this next entrant.
Oh, what a crash. Got to minimize the damage now. Go help your teammates immediately. Thunderous Club comes down. Very effective.
She turns it around with the reversal.
Driving the elbow.
Oh my gosh! What impact!
Oh God!
Flapjack!
Gosh, landing face first.
Ooh! Oh, a drop kick on the mark. Crucial moment,
And here we go. Climbing up the cage. Only bad things happen from that decision.
Adding a level of insult.
Is she really going to do this? Is she serious?
Please, no.
Really took a gamble there, and it cost everything.
There's no way anybody can continue after landing like that.
Just brutalizing their opponent.
You have to question what kind of malintent is behind a powerbomb with that much force. It's about to be an uphill battle for one team once this clock hits zero.
I've seen Saxton thrown out of a few local bars like that before.
Please don't remind me, Corey.
Bursting out of the cage, eager to capitalize on the situation.
Looking to give her team an advantage in more ways.
This competitor looking to up the ante right now as their opponent perched on the top rope about to join him. Oh my gosh, no way, no way!
Under the apron now, looking to stack the odds even higher in their team's favor here. And entering even more dangerous territory. Scaling the WarGames cage wall. You can... Incoming! Looking for a submission, face first. Koji clutch applied. She's screaming in pain, surrounded.
She's tapping, but it doesn't matter at all in this situation. Uh-oh, I don't like this idea one bit. No good reason to be climbing.
Take off. She's bringing the table into play here. She is done playing around. She's out of it, guys. Time is ticking away. Shortly we'll have a fresh competitor to even the odds. Take off.
Sorely needed reinforcements about to arrive. Let's see what kind of impact they have.
Middle rope. Missile drop kick.
Hit the target.
She's making the climb to the top rope.
Alexa Bliss.
And Bliss. An impactful display of offense. We just witnessed that.
Alexa might decide it right here.
Every person in this capacity crowd is on their feet.
And with good reason. These superstars are earning all their respect.
The arm absorbing the damage. They're not going to this one without a little backup in their corner.
This match isn't even official, so they can't win with this. But it can inflict.
And she breaks her own submission hold. We don't see that often.
That can either psych out her opponent or come back to bite her.
And a live crowd doesn't get any hotter than this. On the edge of their seats and then some.
Slam through the table.
Unleashing some pure destructive.
This is unique.
Face buster. Charlotte is in trouble.
And in just a moment, the numbers advantage set to come into play here. Kyrie gets that set right back to her.
Holding cages open and away they go. Ready to get into the action. It's absolute pandemonium in here.
And it's all because of the willpower these superstars are showing.
And entering into an absolute war zone, giving the troops the boost they need.
And Charlotte setting herself up top. From way up.
Kyrie saying from the ropes. Insane elbow fight from the top. Consecutive high-risk maneuvers, and the pace of this match has certainly picked up.
Oh yeah, she is really getting fired up. Flair delivering the chop. Natural selection. After situation for that.
Bam! Looking to get airborne here. Here we go. Joe, perfect moonsault.
EO with the exclamation mark.
Kyrie saying from the ropes. Insane elbow finds the mark. Hazardous situation for Ripley.
Oh, tracking the kendo stick across the head. Kyrie fell.
Kick to the gut by
Bliss.
mere seconds away from evening the odds in WarGames.
Did Bliss end it there?
Alexa Bliss.
Charging toward the ring.
Perched up top.
That might topple the queen.
Now we see Bliss.
Does Bliss finish the job here?
Just trying to pound their opponent into the ground even further.
Ooh, disrespectfully hurling that sign.
Taking a moment to get.
Rhea Ripley. Locking in the prison trap.
The prison trap is applied.
How in the world? She is determined to escape.
Into the cage. No room for...
Rhea looking for submission.
Makes the submission and they're still in this.
I can't believe it. From the top of the cage. two competitors.
This could go south in a hurry. Here we go.
Superplex.
My favorite kind of thrashing, Cole. She's going up now. Going up high. And the Empress of July.
Oh, boy. Here it comes. Will she get it for the left knee?
She just went catapulting across that gap. And oh, wow, what a move. Clothesline. Right to the back of the neck.
Just deep into the mat. This could end it.
She pops the shoulder. She's going for the victory. But no, helping their teammate out there. He's going to try again. He can't take it anymore. That's the time.
No way Sane's coming back from that.
Here are your winners. The team of Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley.
They came, they fought, they survived. Ladies and gentlemen, your War Games winners.
In the end, one team seemingly just wanted it more.
And that is what WarGames is all about. Digging down deep, going to battle with your teammates, and hopefully coming out on top when all is said and done.
Well, I'm glad me and 2K agreed that what's best for the women's war games. Having the babyface win. I just, again, I don't see any sort of advantage or storytelling um progression that happens with the heels winning. Again, I know the match did not feature AJ Styles and Becky Lynch, but the War Games does not need to happen to progress that story into a one-on-one match later on in the future. I think the other 8 remaining women who were featured in this 2K sim, all of them are just tag teams at this point and possibly going after the women's tag team title. Unless again somebody turns heel that we just did not expect, I just don't see what advantage would be for the heels to win. But we'll see. You never know. So that was the first match. The women's War Games match is what I think will be the first one. So the second match, I did say I believe will be John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio. I'm excited for that one. Again, cannot emphasize enough that it is John Cena's last PLE match. He has to go out with a banger. Um, in the sense of PLE, obviously, it's I said it already. He will be fighting one last match after this at Saturday Night's main event in December, in Washington D.C. Um, and they're doing the John Cena the last time is now tournament to determine who it is. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Um, so with that being said, this is gonna be amazing. Like this is gonna be the greatest match, one of the greatest matches John Cena has put, but one of the greatest matches in terms of putting over young talent. I mean, this is perfect. Dirty Dominic Mysterio has had a great year. He showed out and showing his popularity at WrestleMania. The crowd is behind him as a heel, as a baby face, as a merger of both, kind of in the Eddie Guerrero type of fashion. Which, I mean, that's what who he is emulating so much of. So passing the torch to Dominic would be a phenomenal way for John Cena to end his PLE match or whatnot. Not streak, but like his last PLE in his career. Now, granted, I can also see an argument where no, he still keeps it and then he drops it at main event at yeah, Saturday night's main event. And since the rumor is it will be more than likely Gunther, Gunther starts a second incredible reign as an Intercontinental Champion. There's pros and cons to it. It would be pretty cool to have Gunther back in the title picture, but at the same time, I think Gunther needs to stay in the World Heavyweight title picture just because there's not a lot of people with big enough names and credibility to be World Heavyweight Champion like Gunther. So keep him over there. I truly, truly, truly believe John Cena will drop the title to Dirty Dom. Um, I think it's just a perfect culmination of it all. So yeah, let's go into the match, see what happens, select the championship, select John Cena, and see if we are correct. See what 2K says will be the end result. Vamos.
The WWE Intercontinental title on the line. Perhaps a new chapter will be written in this championship's long history.
For over 40 years, the WWE's best have competed for this title.
Winning the Intercontinental title has been a major milestone in some Hall of Fame careers, and well, it could be just that again here tonight.
Probably knew that wasn't going to be enough at this stage.
Shoulders down, championship at stake. Whoa, a quick kick out from John Cena.
He just powered out there, Cole.
And they tie up with a collar and elbow. Shoving them away. And there's a reason Cena's known as Big Match John, Corey. I imagine that has to be intimidating as an opponent.
Yeah, but you can't let it get to you, Cole. Instead of letting this turn into a John Cena match, you have to turn this into a chess game. When you're in the...
Diving headbutt. Momentum has completely shifted to Dominic.
And Cena's got to be feeling like a pawn now. He's been 2 or 3 steps behind, and he's all out of sorts here.
Holding it, looking to seal the deal, guys.
Kick out before the 1 count.
Anyone who thought this be over quick has another thing coming.
Over the top and lands awkwardly outside.
He's looking to take things to the outside now. Tossed back into the ring.
Oh, man.
Uranagi!
Big elbow drop.
Escapes out of that attack.
Hurricane Rana.
Unbelievable athleticism.
The challenger is going for it. Kicks out at just 1.
He's not even close to being done yet. Oh!
Oh, and fights back.
Lands an elbow.
And Mysterio hasn't quite learned the defense for that attack yet.
Yeah, John Cena looked confident going on the attack.
The 5-knuckle.
The champ is going for the cover.
Breaks the count at 2.
You have to think this battle is starting to weigh down on him.
Caught him right in the jaw.
Ugh, what a shot.
Draped into the deadly Tree of Woe position.
He's got that boot. They are doing whatever they please.
Can't say I approve of the champ's tactics, but that's one way to get the upper hand in a fight.
Cena has his opponent up, repositioned.
Attitude adjustment.
That's got to be it. Consider the championship retained.
That's it. The champ stays the champ.
Here is your winner, and still WWE Intercontinental Champion, the greatest of all time, John Cena!
Crucial victory as he retains the title.
He just cemented his title reign with a gutsy performance.
Well, I'm glad to see that 2K agrees with nobody. Damn it. I was really hoping 2K would show that Dirty Dom is going to win it, but 2K thinks John Cena will carry the title into his last match as Saturday night's main event. So maybe it happens. Maybe it happens. But we'll see. We'll see. So far, if you're keeping track, 2K has the women's WarGames match being won by the Babyfaces and John Cena beating Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title, or I guess retaining said title. The next match that I have going on the PLE is the women's world title match of Nikki Bella versus Stephanie Vicaire. Um, I don't really care for this match. As bad as that sounds, I don't know. I think you're just trying to showcase Nikki. Again, she was re-signed with the company, brought back and whatnot, which isn't bad. I'm not trying to downplay that. Hey, she wasn't a revolutionary during her era, and bring her back is pretty cool and nostalgic, similar to like AJ Lee and people like that. Awesome, great. But what benefits Stephanie Vicaire from winning this match? She's already a great young champion. Beating somebody who is wrestling in a quite different era that she used to wrestle in doesn't really do anything. I think it was just literally just trying to put a big name with Stephanie Vicaire, but Stephanie Vicaire is becoming her own big name as she goes. She was already a big name down in Mexico and all the Latin America areas doing lucha libre and fighting down there, and she did good actually in AEW. Her couple times that she was there, and she did phenomenal in NXT. So it's like this isn't needed. She could have fought somebody else, somebody more deserving of the spotlight, or not the spotlight itself, but like helping come up with her while they do this. Um, so I don't know. That's just my take on it. I could be completely wrong. I believe Stephanie Vicaire is going to win the match. Um, that should be the only outcome, in my opinion. I feel as if 2K here is going to have Nikki Bella win it because of the fact that she's a higher overall. I hate that. I hate that 2K does that. It's similar to the last match, John Cena versus Dirty Dom. He was a hell of a higher 2K rating. But yeah, let's see what 2K says. Again, I say Stephanie will win. I feel as if 2K is gonna have Nikki win, but let's see what the end result is.
All eyes are on this match for the Women's World Championship.
With this kind of prize on the line, you just know this will be a knockdown, drag-out fight.
I'd expect nothing less. These women are convinced that this is their moment, their time, that this title is theirs for the taking.
Ooh. All tied up now.
Getting pushed into the corner. Strong show of strength here.
Oh, my! Ooh. Nice monkey flip. Big hammer connects. Mounting a downed opponent. Look at them go. Over and over and over again. And a slap, too.
Just getting pummeled as the champion was unable to return fire.
Locking up with one another.
Strong shove there.
The champion hammered away at it.
You can tell Nikki was zeroed in on her opponent.
A burst of offense from Nikki.
Bakura's defenses are being mowed down.
Corey, Nikki Bella has a history of being dominant in the women's division. What do you think it is that defines that dominance, and will we see it here tonight?
Well, it's got to be the strength and power game, Cole. Taking flight! Oh, my. Someone knows that if they want to hold gold at the end of the night, they have to pull out all the stops.
Single leg drop kick.
but she just won't fade. She keeps fighting. Nice drop kick.
Ooh. Stops the kick. Strong punch to the midsection.
She wants to seize the moment now, waiting on her opponent.
She had that scouted. Go ahead and eat defeat.
Stephanie has a full grasp.
Adrenaline pumping. Here she goes. Top rope. That's insane.
Diving corkscrew moonsault.
Consider your title dreams dashed after that.
There's two.
There it is. Stephanie Valcour keeps the title.
Here is your winner, and still a WWE Women's World Champion, Stephanie Valkyrie.
She came in the champ. She's leaving the champ.
There were a few moments where things were up in the air, but she was able to retain her title like a true champion.
There you go, 2K. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Agree with me. Come on, it's best for you. But on a real note, it is good to see that, hey, 2K does believe Stephanie Vaquera should keep the title. And again, rightfully so. I don't know why she wouldn't. But yeah. So the final match, or the main event of the evening that I have, is the men's War Games match. And it's pretty star-studded. A lot of fresh faces, in the sense of you have Braun Breaker, Brock Lesnar, for the first time entrance, Logan Paul, also a first timer in a War Games match, and then you have like baby faces other than CM Punk, right? Or did CM Punk participate? No, CM Punk participated last year. There's no new faces on the babyface side. All of them, yeah, no, that's crazy. Anyways, three fresh faces on the heel side, none on the babyface side. Um, Either way, it's still exciting, still star-studded. Um, I don't know how it's gonna end. I really don't. I see the argument for the baby faces to win. I hear and know the arguments for the heels to win. I think the heels may win. And here's my reason why. The Vision is basically a new version of what I believe to be evolution. Ric Flair, Triple H took Batista, Randy Orton under their wing, showed them how to be champ, showed them how to carry themselves within this company. Now you have the same with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, with Paul Heyman being a great source of influence and advice because of his long tenure within the wrestling industry, and Seth Rollins, who is absolutely phenomenal. You now replace Seth Rollins with Logan Paul, another young fixture that could go alongside Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. You capitalize on that. You continue that youth movement and putting them up on pedestals and showing that they can hang with the all-time greats. You add a little bit of influence of Brock Lesnar. I mean, being in the ring with Brock Lesnar already puts you in legendary status. And then you have Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's cool. Drew McIntyre's great. Don't get me wrong. Nothing against him. It's Drew McIntyre. Um, but that's a solid team, a solid big team at that. Like the smallest person in that team is Logan Paul, which is ridiculous. Then on the opposite side, for baby faces, you have both main roster, main faces of the WWE, in the sense you have WWE champ Cody Rhodes, World Heavyweight champ CM Punk, the OTC number uno in Roman Reigns, the reason why WWE is at its pinnacle right now because of Roman Reigns. Nobody else. I will die on that grave. But then you also have Jimmy and Jey Uso, who are veterans at this point in a War Games match because they're always in it. Um, so yeah, you have a great match set up, but you have the tension on the babyface side. So that's why again I think the heels may win. Who's the face of WWE right now due to championship? Is it Cody Rhodes with a WWE title? Because I mean, it literally has WWE in the name of it. Or is it the World Heavyweight title, which many may consider the secondary title because it's the one that came after the WWE title? It was created to fill a void. Is it CM Punk? Or is it the guy that doesn't carry a title at all and it's Roman Reigns, which again, Roman has been carrying a lot of the load for WWE for quite some time now. And then you have arguably one of the greatest tag teams in the Usos, but again, what is their purpose here? Jay is flip flopping as to what he wants to do in the sense of does he want to be his own person? Does he want to be his own tribal chief esque type of person and take after Roman even more? Like what's going on? So there's interesting stories within this match, which is phenomenal. Makes it interesting, makes it a little bit unpredictable. But again, I think it would benefit the heels winning because of the fact they have this new faction, new group of stars who you can catapult due to the stardom that's in this match. But with their youth, it could definitely bring them even further on into superstardom in WWE. Now, in terms of the 2K sim, again, very similar to the women's. Here, we have to drop it down to 4v4. 2K25 and the previous 2K that had War Games did not allow for 5v5 War Games matches. So, with that being said, who are we dropping? Well, that's easy for me as well to decide because of the fact that I do not have Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry. Nothing against Brock Lesnar in the sense of using him as a wrestler on this match or in this game. It's just, I don't feel like paying the extra money. I'm going to be completely honest. I do not want to spend an extra dime on the game. Nothing against the game. It's just, it's already so much money to play this. So much money. Um, and I don't want to pour in more when maybe more than likely Brock Lesnar will be featured in the next game. Anyways, let me get off my rocker there. But yeah, I think I think we could do without Brock, and I think we could do without Roman. Those were again the last two people that were added into the game or into the match. So once again, we could do without them. There will be no harm, no foul if that is done the way that it is. Um, we also did find out on Monday night, if I'm remembering correctly. I hope I'm remembering correctly, because then I just butchered the whole main event scene or whatever. The heels have the advantage, right? I hope I should have fact checked this before I even did this. I'm disappointed in myself, you guys. Very disappointed in myself. But I'm pretty sure the heels won that match on Monday Night Raw, so they have the advantage. So I'll have them having the advantage in this match as well. I'm gonna transition now to showing you guys me laying out the teams because this is who I think will be the order of people going in. I think it'll be Jay and Braun going at it first. Then you have Jimmy Uso and Logan Paul. Once again, I think Logan's gonna be very arrogant. And he's gonna be like, "Hey, I wasn't first. Nah, bro. Nobody else is going in but me." Um, and then I think you're gonna have CM Punk try to go in after Jimmy. I think maybe a little callback to last year where Roman tried to stop CM Punk repeatedly from going in before him, but CM Punk is just gonna be like, "I'm champ, get the freak out the way. You don't make the rules." But on top of that, Roman has to deal with dealing with Cody as well in that same fisherman's cage um, before getting into the match. So that'll be very interesting. But I think this may be the order of entrance and who goes in. Um, but yeah, like I said, I think the heels are going to win this one, or they should win this one. Let's see what 2K says will be the end result.
The following is a men's War Games match. The rules of the match are as follows. Two teams will be contained in separate cages, with one member of each team starting the match. At regular intervals, alternating members from each team will be released to enter the match. The team with the advantage will be the first to have a member released into the match. Once all competitors have entered, War Games officially begins. The match can be won by pinfall or submission. Exiting the cage will result in a forfeit. Now, let the War Games begin!
Should have done that for the first War Games. Just allowed the entrances so we could have at least seen the rules. But you know, hey, at least we did it now.
Teams pit their first combatants against one another.
And in these early minutes, it's all about survival. The true war doesn't even really begin until more superstars have entered the cage.
Oh, right into a counter. Clothesline. So effective.
Picking up speed off the rope. Got the leg and
Elbow drop with authority.
Wrestling 101. If you can't stand, you can't fight.
Backdrop suplex. What a shot. And with an onslaught of strikes like that, it's clear they have nothing but punishment on their mind. One of the most unique matches any superstar will ever be a part of. How does that affect someone in there, Corey?
Well, Cole, it's hard to say.
Look out! Ooh. And Jay is being picked to pieces here.
And Jay needs to find an opening fast.
he's still reeling, and more punishment is in. Up high, crossbody from the top.
Attempting high-risk move after high-risk move at a breakneck pace.
They're just punishing their opponent now.
The crowd is counting it down. Next entry will tip the scales in their team's favor. Look at this. This can't be good.
Oh, man, right to the esophagus.
On the loose, they're going to change the landscape of this match.
Searching under the ring now. This can't be good.
He just grabbed what could be a game changer, adding an advantage on top of an advantage.
And is he? Yeah, looks like he's bleeding now.
The odd man in, and he's looking for an ace up his sleeve now. Searching under the ring now. This can't be good.
And now having to deal with that weapon is like going up against two competitors at once.
DDT.
And now officially in the fray. It pays to be coming in and have more friends than foes in the cage.
Hip drop.
I've been waiting to see that.
This is a situation you want to avoid. Oh, just deadlifting their opponent and tossing them aside.
There's a lot of hard ways to land, but that might be the hardest. Effective dodge there. Dang.
Clock counting down. A sigh of relief can surely be breathed once the next competitor enters.
He's doing some dangerous redecorating.
I think the table really ties it all together. Freed from the cage and now needs to make haste to even up the fight. The incredible self-confidence of Logan Paul on full display.
Drop kick from behind. Ooh. in stunning fashion. Oh, and a wicked clothesline.
Climbing the cage, but that makes absolutely no sense in this. Look at the height, and does not get it. That kind of focused attack on the leg could provide dividends.
Countdown's on to get ready because this will give one team a greater number of combatants.
Oh, disturbing impact. Ooh, did you hear that clank of the hammer? Cage opens, and the strategy now has to be to take charge, play the numbers game to your advantage now. Check out the power, big Bronson Reed. If you're on the opposite side of this entry, you are bracing for a fight. Taking flight. Will that clinch things for Reed? Oh, man, check out this power. Good golly, Miss Molly. Kick to the gut. Cranked around into a neck breaker. Like John Henry swinging the hammer like that. Super kick. Super kick.
Landing a big hit with that hammer.
Something bad is coming his way, and he has no clue. Goodness gracious.
We've got to acknowledge these fans have paved the way that we're hearing every single voice.
It is loud, and it is from the rope. Fortune favors the bold. These risks could be a winning strategy.
The next entrant incoming to even up the... Watch out! And we have
Jay is out. That is it. Door swings open, and out they come. And their team could definitely use their help. Huge big boot.
numbers about to be even, but not before he brings in a little backup from the outside. Even in the teams are looking under the ring for a little extra insurance.
Sent into the ropes and a sharp elbow to the back.
He's headed to the top now. Look at the height. Meanwhile,
Braun with a cause for concern.
man, this place is jumping.
An atomic drop. Big Bronson Reed fears no man. Braun is whipped into the table.
You know what, Corey?
The colossal clutch.
We might be looking at a tap out. Slip right underneath, and just like that, he's out of the hold.
Logan Paul looks knocked out.
Meanwhile, we have Breaker.
Will Breaker finish things now?
Going up the cage now, must have some sort of strategy in mind.
He just put it through the table, and who knows what he's thinking now. Up high. And walking through the structure door, this is where nightmares become reality. And Reed's in crisis mode. Watch out. There's a seat for your face.
He's climbing to the top.
Oh, look out. It looks like he's got a bullseye on his head now.
Totally helpless at the moment.
Well measured. Punch connects.
Puck wasting no motion on the counter.
Looking for more damage here. Release back suplex. Ouch. From the top.
Jarring impact. beyond has begun.
Everything we just saw was a warm-up. Now these superstars have to actually compete. Absolutely planned.
That was vicious. This is troublesome for Reed. Does
And Drew, this one's for the match.
I think it's time for the countdown. Monkey top spin. Truly cause for concern.
But I think those constant attacks to his torso are adding up.
Yeah, Cole, this could have consequences for his future.
Oh, jeez. Nasty kick to the face. Now scaling the WarGames structure. This is not going to end well. Flying. And still in this. What a match. Suplex from the middle rope.
Took a gamble once.
Now we go. Will McIntyre be able to recover? Yes, CM Punk wins it.
What goes up must come down, and it sure as hell did right
Here are your
there.
winners. The team of Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes.
That was one for the ages, ladies and gentlemen. Hard not to celebrate after coming up on top in this one.
I still cannot believe what we saw here tonight. A lot of back and forth in this match, but you can't deny that the best team won here tonight.
Well, again, I think it would be best for the heels to win. I think there will be a lot of headbutting within the baby faces. Again, CM Punk tries to go for the win because he thinks he's head honcho. CM Punk uh possibly getting in the way of Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes or vice versa. Like, you can interchange that role within the baby faces. So I think that's going to be a hindrance for them where the heels are just like, hey, let's win. Let's do it. So, but yeah, last rundown of how the match card is what I believe will be the match card order, and also what 2K said was going to win. So I believe the women's War Games will be the first match with the baby faces winning, and 2K agreed. The second match is going to be John Cena versus Dirty Dominic. At least that's what I think it will be. And I was choosing Dirty Dominic, but 2K says John Cena will keep it. The third match will be Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella. And me and 2K both agreed that Stephanie's going to keep it. And then the main event will be the men's War Game match, where I believe it should be the heels winning, but 2K says it will be the baby faces. So drop your not hints, Jesus, results or your guesses down in the comments below of how you think War Games is going to play out. Like the video if you haven't already. Hope you have enjoyed today's video. Worthy of a like, please, maybe. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Really helps support the channel when you do. And hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every single time a new video drops. But until next time, you guys, this has been another WWE 2K Sim, this time for Survivor Series War Games. Deuces, you guys.